Alrighty. Looks like I am live. Hopefully, it looks halfway decent. Anyhow, hopefully, you guys are doing good. Take a look at this thing. Look at that big old sword. Get your sword. Went out to. Today was a relatively nice day because I got to go out and kind of just take a bit of a break from school and work and all that other stuff and making videos. And I went down to Halloween store because I had an idea for a video, funny enough. And while I was down there, I was trying to find a skull cup, a skull goblet, a goblet skull kind of thing. Because I had this idea in my head. But I ended up not finding one of those at Spirit of Halloween, which I thought was very disappointing, honestly. Very disappointing. But I found this. Found the sword. Found the sword. And, honestly, it just really reminds me of that movie, The Hobbit. The Hobbit. Specifically, the first Hobbit movie. That was the movie that I really remember watching because I think I watched that right before I left the country, right before I went on my 2-year mission after high school. And I watched that movie, and one of the things that I kind of liked about it was the weapons that the dwarves had. And I think it was Thorin Oakenshield. He had his big oak shield, but he also had a sword, a big chunky sword that, you know, not even chunkier than this. Basically you had like a big thick sword here, and then it like went out into like a rhombus kind of thing. Like it was just huge and chunky, and that's really what this reminded me of. Almost kind of reminds me too of that one Warcraft movie, which I thought it was okay. It was not the best thing. There was some stuff that I thought was mediocre, to say the least. But anyhow, let me get to the point here. About 2 minutes in, it's like 10:50 right here in Southern California. But anyhow, hopefully, I'm hoping you guys are doing good. Recently, I just watched a video from Thomas Gilkey, aka the Gilk Man. Um, if you don't know who he is, let me just get let me pull up a link to his channel here. And I'm going to just put that in the chat. Copy. And let me come here. I'm going to paste that into the chat. There we go. Oh, yeah. And you're going to have to forgive the room right now. I got a green screen on one side here, and I got a mess of a bed just because I had to put my camera on the bed, and then I had to have it on a tripod, of course, and all this other stuff. And then I got into a costume, and I think I personally made a video that a few people will get a kick out of. And I think that kind of leads into this kind of discussion here. Now, this stream is titled "A Few Thoughts Regarding This Channel." So today, as I was trying to say earlier, I watched a video from Thomas Gilkey, and it was about it's titled "The Gilk Man." The Gilk Man rants, and in that video, he talks a little bit about some of the frustration that he feels in this online community in regards to the amount of attention that certain people get and the amount of attention that certain people don't get. And in that video, he talks about a few different people. He talks about Apollo Patriot, a person who I know a little bit about. I don't really know him too well, but he talks about Apollo Patriot and the memes, all the stuff that he does. Talks about ABC. He talks about a couple different people. He even name drops me, which I was like, whoa, But it was a really thought-provoking video, and I really appreciated watching that video. And I took the time to comment and kind of I didn't want to go too deep into the comment, because you don't want to write a whole thesis about a video. You don't want to write a whole gigantic thing, because it's just I guess it's just a common courtesy. You don't want to make somebody feel like ooh when they see that you have put a comment there. But anyhow, so the little comment that I put down, I said, as my time on YouTube as a viewer and now content creator has progressed, I have had a lot of changes in mentality. From time to time, there are large channels that I avoid watching, not because I don't like them, but because there's other people who need help. The big fish are going to keep on swimming without me and the things that I do. Basically, I'm keeping things realistic and optimistic. I understand that I will most likely never have the same amount of success that other people in this community have and enjoy, but if I can make someone like AFK Bard or J Accent laugh and feel good, then I can call that a job well done. If I can lend my skills or my voice to help out somebody in doing something that I believe in, then I am satisfied. There's a lot of things that don't quite work out as well as they could, but I'll count my blessings and work towards achieving greater things. And then I go on to thank him. But I kind of want to dissect some of the stuff that I wrote there. You know, I started really watching YouTube probably around, gosh, I guess around 2015, 2016. So around the tail end of 2015, I came back from my mission, and then I started doing school and all that other kind of stuff again, and working and all that. And it was really in the year 2016 that I really had a lot of opportunities to watch YouTube and specifically to watch particular channels that cover pop culture and all those kinds of nitty gritty kind of things that we all really enjoy watching nowadays. Um, since then, I think I started trying. Actually, it's been over a year since I've done first started making videos on YouTube. I think if I could give you direct uh, a direct timeline here, let me open up a tab here and just take a look back in time here. Oh, what do you know? That actually looks pretty decent. Maybe it's nice because I'm streaming so late. No one else in the house is using anything that would take up this bandwidth, I guess. Anyhow, let me just take a look and just kind of give you a guesstimate on how long it's been since I've started making YouTube videos. So it's been about a year, maybe a little more, well, a little more than a year actually, because I had another channel called Whitefish Mongo. You could probably find it on here. I don't know if it's still in that same name, but it, yeah, now it's Alika Hubbard, which is like, okay. Well. But I started making videos on that channel a long time ago, just a little over a year ago. And since then, I've kind of evolved into a space of mind and a mentality where I am comfortable and I know what I'm basically doing, I guess. Not to say that I'm an expert. No way. No way am I an expert at any of this stuff. But there's been a lot of things that I've kind of tried to innovate and improve on, whether it's been audio quality, visual quality, all those kinds of things. But to get back to the point here, I've had a lot of changes in mentality. When I first started making YouTube videos, I guess maybe this is something that everybody thinks. when they first start out. They have very high goals, very high expectations of what they're going to be able to do and what they're going to be able to produce. And very quickly, I realized, okay, no, I'm not really going to be able to be as competent or as confident as people like Jeff Hicks or Jesse Milestone or Anna that Star Wars girl. I'm not gonna be as competent or confident as those people are with the topics that they talk about. Of course, I realize everybody has their starting point, but my point is at my starting point. I quickly realized that I could not be putting out the same quality of stuff that they were putting out, which really was a very interesting process. It's kind of that growth and learning process there. But let me just kind of jump back in here. So, from time to time, there are large channels that I avoid watching, not because I don't like them, but because there's other people who need help, so to speak. That's something that I've kind of learned and noticed just kind of throughout being on Twitter specifically. Being on YouTube, just solely on YouTube, and looking at YouTube comments and following different people on YouTube, you only get one point of view, really. It's one point of view there. But when you go on to Twitter, you kind of see and hear more thoughts from these people that who you follow on YouTube. You really get a much bigger picture. You get a lot more um, views. You can get a lot more of a sample of how these people are thinking and what's bothering them. And I'm not going to really name any particular channels out there just because there's really so many people out there. If you're a part of the fandom collective community or the fandom menace community, you're going to know that there's going to be some people who are obviously gigantic powerhouses of pop culture commentary, and there's going to be other people who are not quite as gigantic, and some people who are new, especially in the fandom collective community. They're new and they're coming in. They're trying to dive in with as much as they can and gather as much as they can, pull in as many people as they can, so to speak, and get as much success as they can. There's nothing wrong with that. That is how you grow a channel. But for me, as time has gone on, there are channels that I still watch on a pretty regular basis. Some of the channels that I first started watching and started really getting invested in back in 2016, those channels I've kind of now not become as ingrained in my daily ritual, so to speak. That you know, as I say here, there's some people they don't quite need the help. I use a quotation here: the big fish. What do I consider a big fish? Well, it for me, it's somebody who's got mm, multiple thousands of people, who has multiple thousands of views on videos and all those kinds of things. It differs from person to person and based on engagement that they get and all those types of things. But basically, the way I figure, and I like to kind of think of myself as a realistic optimist. And no, it's not a transformer. It's not Optimus Prime going into a new combination with another transformer. There, it's just a term. I try to be very positive and hopeful with everything that I do. I try to put out the best thing possible, but I also try to keep my expectations realistic and limited to what is feasible, of course. Sometimes, occasionally, a video of mine does get some uh, good traction, so to speak, but usually that's stuff that's about like a toy that most people are wanting to look at or review, or it's on actually, it's pretty much just mostly that kind of stuff. Or sometimes occasionally like a news video that I try to do, a stream gets a lot of traction as well. But there's just things, I guess. I'm kind of babbling now, but there are things out there that are really good that I really, really give me a big, huge confidence boost. And there are other things that are not quite as successful that I have to remember and remind myself and say, hey, it's okay. It's, something that I guess people aren't interested in or people aren't into, so to speak. Would I love for everything I made to be well received and to be the subject of discussion on a daily basis? Of course. But, that's something for me to work towards. It's something for me to hopefully achieve one day. But as I kind of say there, right now, I'm trying to watch as many channels as I can. But due to hours in the day, there aren't enough hours in the day for me to watch everybody's things, everybody's videos that they put out. But I'm trying to diversify. There's so many different things on YouTube and Patreon and on Twitter that you can do to support people. And whether it's being a patron or being a channel member, doing super chats, sending things in the mail, there's just so many different things that you can do and you could do. And essentially, for me, uh, I want to try and help other people, get to that point where they can, monetize their channels or they can attain enough traction to justify making a Patreon or putting out a PO box and all those kinds of things. It's a really interesting thing. I'm not going to say that I'm like an expert at doing that or that the stuff that I do really rakes in the people, brings in the viewers. Because most of the time, if I make a video on Twitter and I talk about somebody and I kind of like endorse them or promote some of their stuff, you know, it's going to be about as successful as the videos I put out on my own channel. But as I kind of say here in this comment later on, I say, I understand that I will most likely never have the same amount of success that other people in this community have and enjoy. And, just a bit of a backstory on that. At first, when I kind of got on the YouTube thing making videos, I had initially thought, okay, well, here's this guy, RK Outpost, and here's this other person, Darth Barbie. And I was thinking, well, maybe I can kind of not quite gauge my success, but I can kind of gauge my pace, so to speak, by looking at these people, seeing what they're doing, and kind of trying to not quite compete with them because, shoo, I couldn't compete with either of them in terms of personality and content or whatever. But as time went on, it became very clear to me that, hey, you shouldn't compare yourself to Ryan Kinnell. You shouldn't compare yourself to Krista Nova. They're different people. They have different personalities. They have different skills. They're not the same as you. Me, Alika Hubbard, I am not Ryan Kinnell. I am not Krista Nova. I am not Jeff Hicks. I am not Jesse Milestone. I'm my own person. So there's no need for me to try to work at the pace that these other people have made for themselves. I can go at my pace. I can have fun and gain enjoyment out of the things that I am able to do and out of the skills that I have. So, because of that, I'm just kind of rolling along. I'm grinding along. I'm trying to magnify the skills and the traits that I do have and put them out in a format that could hopefully be appealing to other people. And boy, is it a really interesting process. Kind of just doing this whole thing, content creating, so to speak. It really is interesting, folks, and it's really cool. There's a lot to enjoy about that. Let's see here. So I talk about all this kind of stuff, and I've elaborated about a lot of stuff in this post or in this little comment that I made on Thomas Gilkey's video. Really good video. Let me put a link to that in the chat. It's something that is thought provoking, I think. I think it's thought provoking. I'm going to put that in the chat. You can see my comment there, and hopefully you'll be able to hear the amount of depth that I kind of go into explaining some of it. Pardon me, folks. I had a burp. I say folks, but I don't even know if anybody's, watching this. But anyhow, so I only got a few more sentences here. So I just talk about. I understand that I will most likely never have the same amount of success that other people in this community have and enjoy. But if I can make someone like AFK Bard or J Accent laugh and feel good, then I can call that a job well done. And that's something that I can have fun with, I'm on I'm on Twitter or something like that. I see somebody fanzine vids. He's got some shirt things. He's trying to promote his his Teespring thing. I thought today, hey, guess I'll make a little video saying like, hey there, folks, I'm Mongo and I like this shirt, So, I'll do that kind of thing. I'll put it out, I'll tag him. And the way I figure, if it makes him happy, then that's something good. We got Shellback TJC. Cool stuff. I think you were number 13, subscriber number 13. Shoot, that was a long time ago. Feels like a long time ago, but ignore the room here. I was doing some filming, doing some more shenanigans. But anyhow, there have been some really great people here that I've really gotten to. I guess the word would be love. I'm a huge softy, guys. And when I like a person and when I can empathize with them, then I kind of try and really, be friendly and be good and be fun with them, Whether it's AFK Bar, J Accent. J Accent's such a great dude. He sent me a wonderful bit of lines to read in an audio drama that he's doing that's going to be coming up, and it was really touching to read and to go through. So let's see here. Last sentence here. A few sentences here. So if I can lend my skills or my voice to help out somebody in doing something that I believe in, then I'm satisfied. I guess that's all. The whole point of just kind of being Mongo here. My whole point here is, having some fun. If I can get some success here on YouTube, that's a bonus. That's some icing on the cake. I already think that I have quite a few blessings here. And I'd have to say that those would be some of the people that I have really gotten to know, that I have really been able to support, not only physically, but emotionally. And there's a lot of good things that I've experienced that I think anybody can really enjoy on YouTube. It's been said many other places at many other times, but there's so many different measurements for success. And there's so many different goals that you can have in any given field or topic of life, I guess. For me, I'm just a really simple guy. I don't have any illusions of grandeur as far as YouTube is concerned. And I'm just trying to do what I can to help some people out, make them feel good. If they want to come to me and, talk about stuff, and if I'm able to help them out, that's a great thing. Off the top of my head, there's a few people that I really do feel close to or feel strengthened by. One of them is JX, and he is such a great guy. I really cannot state that enough there. Jay Accent, he's amazing. He is such a great guy. It's been a pleasure getting to know him and getting to be able to talk with him and have conversation with him. I really hope he is able to pop up on my stream on Sunday. We had a really great time talking last Sunday too, and you know, there's other people. There's other people that I've been getting closer with throughout the last few months, maybe. Yeah, last few months. And whatever happens, happens. If this turns into something gigantic and monstrously amazing, then that's great. But I'm going to keep things realistic. I'm going to keep being realistic and optimistic. But yeah, I guess that's about all I can really say. Hopefully, you guys have a good rest of your day. Back. You know, I'm glad you saw that Ninja Turtle and Gamera picture. It was pretty dope. I like to think, and I've said this already a few times, but I like to think, you know, Ninja Turtles, Gamera, they give Gamera a little like beeper, like in his ear or in his little belt. And they say, hey, Gamera, we need you. The techno drum's coming in. We need some heavy guns. We need some big guns here. So Gamera comes flying out of the ocean. He comes around. He nukes the freaking techno drum, and he goes away, and he has some giant pizzas, you know, all that good stuff. But anyhow, folks, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. I am Mongo. Pay no attention to the pigsty behind me. I've been doing some shenanigans, like I say. And hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. And I am repeating things. And yeah, so I'm going to end this. And before I end this, let me just do this little thing here for J Accent Art. Folks, if you're like me, you enjoy being creative. But some of your creativity may not be up to snuff. So here's what I did. I contacted J Accent. If you want something done, if you want something artistic or creative done, I would suggest checking out JW Accent on Twitter. Link in the description down below. Alrighty, folks. I'll see you around. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. See you later, Shellback. Hope you have a good night, man. Bye-bye.